Get back, buddy! Start me up! Yeah, boy! Give it! Yeah!
Hey everybody, what's going on? Thanks for swinging by. I sure do appreciate it. If this is your first time with the channel, my name is Mark.
Oh, hi Mark.
Welcome to Fit and Fire. Let's get into this video. This time we're going to go back and rehash the Zastava M90. This rifle has been one of my favorites, especially for competition shooting, and I wanted to come back, look at it again. I've already completed Kalash Bash and Kalashnicon this year. We've got up over 2,500 rounds through this now. Wanted to take a peek underneath the hood for you guys, kind of show you what I am seeing with the carrier and the bolt and all that type of stuff. Talk about some of the different things that I've done to it. Show you some videos from KB and KCon. And yeah, just kind of let you guys know where we're at with this. This may actually be the last video that I do on this rifle. I'm not exactly sure as of yet, but I have something in the works. We'll talk about that at the end of the video, and the reasons why I may be moving on from this. At the very least, it will be kind of a fallback plan if I ever need one, you know. So if I go to a competition and, you know, my primary fails, I can go back to this. Now, full disclosure for you guys, I'm not getting paid to say anything good, bad, or indifferent about this rifle by Zastava USA or anybody else. I'm going to talk about the good with the bad and let you guys decide whether or not this is going to be right for you. At the very least, this, like I said, is one of my favorites. I own 4 different firearms from Zastava USA, the M90, the M70, the M85, and the M92. I'm hoping to pick up an M72 and an M77. Maybe one of these days an M91, I don't know, we'll see. Those are pretty pricey, but needless to say, this has been a rock solid performer. Had a couple of hiccups, we'll talk about that, but this year it has been 100% reliable. I've had 0 issues, and I'll talk about changes that I made to make sure that it was reliable. Now, let's dive into it real quick. Naturally, this is going to be a 5.56 version or variant of the M70. So you're going to have that bulge front trunnion. You're going to have a 1.5 millimeter receiver, exactly what you would expect from an M70. This is going to have an 18-inch barrel that is chrome lined, which is also pretty cool. But some of the things that I have done, and just so you know, I did purchase this from a buddy of mine, Matt. He is someone I've bought a couple of firearms from, but he's a good buddy of mine. He was unloading it, and I was like, yep, I want to go ahead and pick this up. So that's how we got it into my hands, and it did come with this RS Regulate lower handguard when I purchased it. So just so you know, I'm not really including this as to the quote-unquote changes that I've made to this because I didn't make that change. But first and foremost, the muzzle device is going to be a chemo adapter from JMac Customs. It is going to be their RD360, and I have really enjoyed that brake on there. It has really helped to keep this pretty flat. Moving back to the gas block, the factory 3-port gas regulator was swapped out for a 5-port gas regulator. Was able to find that out on Reddit, and if you guys are interested, just all you really need to do is Google M90 5-port gas regulator Reddit, and you'll be able to figure it out from there. So Moving on back, the charging handle has an AK thumbs grips, kind of enhanced charging handle piece to it. I don't know what you want to call it. But essentially it's kind of like the hobnob from TWS, but it's made out of rubber and there's no screws or anything like that. So that's been a great addition, just something a little bit to beef up this charging handle, get your hands onto it and charge it. Regardless if you're coming from underneath or over top, just gives you a little bit more real estate to grab onto. Got this red dot on here, utilizing the Atero Arms rear sight mount. It is set up for a RMR footprint, and the red dot is a Siley Bull X Pro. Every time that I post a video of me shooting this on Instagrams, I am guaranteed a couple of questions as to what optic is that, and it is the Bull X Pro from Siley. A lot of people kind of snooze on them, I think, because they're like, oh, it's just Chinese import stuff, you know, they're just kind of the upstart Hollow Sun or whatever you want to call it. And that's, I don't know, kind of an okay assessment, I guess. But to be frankly honest with you, this has actually worked out really, really well for me. You should check out what happened last year at Kalashnicon, kind of do a deep dive on this red dot and how I was able to get a first round hit at 575 yards in competition. So definitely check that video out. I'll leave a card at the end, but it has been a rock solid performer and I really do like it. The next biggest thing that I have done to improve the rifle is I've dropped in a CMC 2.5 pound AK trigger. It's kind of like a cassette kind of drop in. It's not really a drop in. You have to do some tinkering to get it installed, but it's actually fairly easy, and it has been a game changer. Used it last year, used it again this year. I've had no issues whatsoever. Some people have, I will admit, some people have complained about hammer follow and stuff like that, but I've not experienced any of those issues unless I was like at the range just kind of goofing off and shooting from the hip, you know, if using my belt loop, if you guys know what I'm saying. That's the only time that I've ever ran into any problems with the trigger itself. In competition, zero problems. So take that for what you will. All right, so let's talk about Kalash Bash. I was very surprised at how well I did. I was hoping to improve from last year. Last year my goal was to break into the top 75, which I did. This year I was 61st of what, 386 people, which was mind-blowing to me. I didn't expect myself to be that high on the roster there for overall. And I had a hard time really just getting into it this year as far as the competition goes. A great weekend, had a blast while I was down there, but for some reason I was just a little off. And so I struggled quite a bit. I didn't have a clean run until our 7th stage. So that was one of the issues that I was running into there. Another issue was I was just leaving targets not neutralized. So failures to neutralize, which was adding points or adding time to my overall time. And yeah, so it just really bummed me out. Every single stage that I would run, I would have at least one target that was a failure to neutralize. I'm like, goodness, what is going on here? But I will say that I did enough to, you know, have a pretty decent showing for just kind of a YouTuber, you know? So no way am I going to be able to compete with people like Mosin Chad. That guy took podium. He was also running an M90 and has well over 6,000 rounds through his. And here's some pictures of what his M90 looks like. And I would say for 6,000 rounds, this is pretty decent. I'm not going to say that it's great by no means, but at the end of the day, most people are not going to shoot that many rounds through a rifle in a lifetime. Most average people who are constantly going to like Kalash Bash or other competitions, who run AKs on a regular basis, they very well may, and that may be concerning to them. But needless to say, I don't I don't see any major concerns with that. So Kalash Bash, great success. I did have a couple of hiccups. I had one stage where I just kept messing everything up. I got to the first shooting position, was in my scheme, I knew exactly what I needed to do, and then started to move to my second shooting position and completely forgot to shoot a target. So I had to stop, come back, shoot that one, and then move to the second shooting position. Got through that just fine, and then I forgot to change mags, moving from the second shooting position to the third shooting position like I had planned on doing it. So when I was at the third shooting position, I started hitting targets and then realizing, oh, I'm going to run out of ammo and I need to make a magazine change. That time came up and I started fumbling the mag change. I didn't get my magazine seated correctly, and it was just one catastrophe after another. And that's all due to preparing properly for the competition. Totally on me. Totally on me. Nothing to gig the M90 on. If you guys are interested, I am running the plums. These are AK-74 plums, and I want to say a huge thank you to one AK girl. She got the fit and fire on the sides of these plums for a birthday gift several years ago, and I've been running them ever since. They have been awesome, and they are using the pod arm follower. Not the best solution for everybody. An actual 5.56 AK mag should be used, but I've had good success with these, so there you have it. Let's take a deep dive into the internals real quick, and we'll come right back. All right, guys, I got this disassembled and wiped down for you. So here's your bolts. I got the flash on so you guys can really kind of see. And realistically, not too bad. Really, really good, in my opinion. This spot right here is just shiny. It's not really peened at all, so that's good. Maybe just ever so slightly, but I've seen a lot worse for sure. And then right here is another problem spot, and really not seeing anything there, just kind of shiny. So no peening whatsoever going on there. On the carrier, typically you'll see some peening right there, and I'm not seeing anything, just maybe some just slight rounding of that corner, but just ever so slight, so nothing going on there. The carrier here is flattening out just ever so slightly. You can see that is flattening out, but that is from the trigger, the CMC trigger, so that's kind of expected in my opinion. But even though 2,500 rounds, it's like hardly anything, so that's looking good. Now the tricky part is trying to get you into that front trunnion, but there it is. There's your front trunnion there, and then there's the other side, and I don't see anything going on there. Obviously, if you guys see something, let me know, but for the most part, I'm not seeing anything. There's your CMC trigger. No issues there whatsoever. So, been good, man. Really pleased with all of this. Okay, so there's that. Let's move on to Kalashnicon. Kalashnicon was, or has become, a competition that I really, really enjoy. Number one is because it's a pretty big competition as far as the number of people that come out and shoot, usually having around 100 or maybe a little bit more shooters coming out, which is a lot bigger than what I'm used to anyway. And then number two, it's actually fairly close to me, so I don't mind making a 3-4 hour drive to go shoot and compete with some really, really good people. Last year, I did have a 4th place finish in my division with an 11th place overall finish, and I was hoping to improve on that. I was really hoping, based off of what happened at Kalash Bash, that I would just continue that trend and continue to move forward and actually make a podium. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Again, because of my own stupid mistakes. So, first and foremost is I got into the first stage, was doing okay. was making my hits with rifle, and then I drew my pistol and I couldn't see the dot on my pistol. And I started to panic. I didn't understand what was going on. Well, it turns out that when you spray insect repellent while your pistol is in your holster on you, it will fog up your red dot. And rookie mistake, I didn't take a unloaded sight picture before I started the stage, so I could have corrected that problem immediately. It's just one of those things, you had to fight through it in the middle of the stage. Because of that, I ended up losing like, I don't know, 10 seconds. And then I forgot a target when I moved to the next shooting position, so then I have to go back once again. A lot of mental mistakes on that first stage, and it just kind of set me up for failure throughout the rest of the competition. However, I did end up placing 5th in my division and 14th overall out of 101 shooters. So not bad at all. But there's still a lot of work to do and some things that I need to improve on. Now, one of the things that I love about Kalashnicon is the fact that they have a long range stage where you can shoot up to 600 yards, and that's always a lot of fun. Last year it was pretty simple, had like, I don't know, 8 targets that you shoot from a rooftop, and the buzzer goes off, you go and you engage those 8 targets as fast as you can, and that was it. This year you had 3 separate shooting positions that you had to shoot out to 600 yards to. Naturally, as you move up to the next shooting position, that distance gets a little bit closer, so it's not as difficult. But needless to say, I was able to get out to the 500-yard target from my first shooting position before time ran out, and I had to move on to the next shooting position because you only got 60 seconds per shooting position, and you had to, even if you cleared it, you got out to 600 yards, you had to wait until that 60 seconds was up before you could move to the next shooting position. But got to the second shooting position and just really started to really struggle to hit the close targets. Got out to 300, and 300 was like a 10-inch gong at 300 yards, which is pretty difficult. Grass around it, no way to see what was going on with it. And so, yeah, that was another frustration piece about that stage, which, again, that's the thing about Kalashnicon, is they make it difficult on purpose. And then from there, you move up to where we shot from last year and engaged the same targets. And that is where the wheels fell off. Again, another rookie mistake. I think what ended up happening was I placed the peak of the rooftop that we were shooting from on the barrel, so that was pushing against the barrel and causing me to shoot high at 300 yards. Because I was like two targets high at 200 yards. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but I did okay, and got 19 out of 30 targets. It was pretty decent in comparison to everybody else that was shooting. So I think out of 100 people, I placed 10th on that particular stage. So that was pretty cool. So the thing I love about Kalashnicon is that it's an extremely physical competition. It's not one of those competitions where you're just going to go out and go fast and shoot fast and stuff like that. You're actually going to have to put in some physical effort, regardless if that is doing laps in a stage or carrying a, I don't know, 25, 30 pound ammo can and chucking that thing around, or just, you know, climbing up and down off of shooting positions, whatever the case may be. You're going to have to put into some physical aspects into it. That's one of the things I do really love about it. So this rifle has ran extremely well. I've been very pleased with it. The only time that I've ever had any issues with this is there for a bit I was running 77 grain OTMs from AAC, and it seems that that ammo just really is not suited for this rifle. I was getting failures to extract for whatever reason. Easy to fix, but there was a couple of times last year that I ran into those issues in competition, and cost me a few seconds in one stage to obviously fix that problem. But needless to say, it has ran flawlessly this year, and I have been really enjoying it. So this will definitely be my fallback rifle in competition should I ever use it again, or have any issues with another rifle that I would be using for competition. With that being said, what is going to happen from here? Well, I'm going to team up with a company called Mbach Armory, and we're going to create a Franken AK of sorts. We're going to do some really cool things. We're going to build it from a kit that I already have, but we're going to change some internal components to make it a little bit more competitive and make it more geared towards competition shooting. So I'm really excited about that. We were supposed to team up and have that rifle ready earlier this year, but timing just didn't work out. I kind of fumbled the ball in communication, so we're going to start working on that immediately so that we can at least get into the second half of the competition season using it, and then use it for Kalash Bash and Kalashnicon next year to see how well it runs there. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens. The M90 has been a great rifle for me, and I absolutely love it. It's not going anywhere. It's going to stay with the channel, and I'm going to probably use it in the future as my number 2 gun should I run into problems with my main rifle. So needless to say, what do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section down below. Do you like the M90s? Do you like Zastava USA? Let me know. Sound off in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I'm a big fan. I don't have any major relationship with them. I know Ronco. I know the marketing manager, Ben, in so much that I shake their hands and say, hey, how you doing? It's good to see you, and that's it. I've never gotten anything for free from them, but needless to say, I continue to buy their stuff. So there you have it.
We got it right, remember? A little over. Hell yeah, burn it down. Burn it down. One to the left again. Yeah, you gotta hit it twice.
Oh shit.
There you go. 142.1.
I'll take it.
High value. I was like, shit.
With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I really do appreciate you guys swinging by. If you're interested in a full Kalashnicon AAR, I did one on the podcast, the Live Laugh Larp podcast with Bolts and Holes. He ended up taking first in his division this year on Saturday, and he had a lot of great points that could interest you guys. So got it down in the pinned comment. Swing by, check it out. You guys will not regret it. With that being said, freedom through strength. We'll get out of here. Take it easy. Here comes a high five. Bye, y'all.